Lately, I've seen this shift in mainstream gaming, this Hail Mary attempt at a forever game, something with endless content, something you could play infinitely. And I'm not talking about games that can technically be played as long as you want, I'm specifically talking about games with an overabundance of scripted, achievable things, quests, missions, moments, you know, that juicy content. Games like MMOs and certain RPGs aren't really new to this grind.
I need you to slay 1,000 spiders for no reason whatsoever other than to increase playtime.
Ooh, this is exciting! Does this come with a vest and a name tag? Because I wasn't aware I just clocked in my new place of fucking employment! Now, video game grinding...
What do you think about that?
I wish you talked like that guy.
I wish I talked like that?
I think it would add to the show so much.
If
that was just your casual.
If just angry,
Yeah.
all the time.
just screaming about.
There's
it.
I'm talking about the second guy. There's a little wizardry there.
The little cute fellow, the little
one that
circle
he
guy.
talked to a second ago.
So I do talk like them.
No, I think it would help.
I talk exactly like him though. That's where your wish has already been granted.
Okay.
If you listen to both of them, listen to me right now. Listen to me right now.
I'm
You
always
listen.
listening.
You listen. Yes. Now.
has existed since the birth of
Same exact
at-home
thing.
game consoles.
There.
Older games would increase
Same
the
thing.
difficulty or remove checkpoints as a way to keep the player playing, mostly due to hardware limitations. When your cartridge housed a few megabytes of storage, sometimes kilobytes, it was up to the developer on how to keep you tethered while simultaneously making sure you didn't blaze through the game. It was clever, often bullshit, but an understandable practice. This isn't necessarily what I'm getting at here, but it's the foundation of this fabricated playtime that I want to jump into. It matters knowing this, but being able to differentiate this somewhat necessary archaic version and the new abomination we'd later receive. But sure, I get it. We want our games to last a while. We never want fun experiences to end. And on top of that, we also want some bang for our buck. Nothing feels worse than being hyped for a game for months just to have it last a few hours. But I got some issues with how every single goddamn game is expected to last forever now. Live service games drip feeding their players with season after season of updates, reuse content, weird time-consuming systems where they don't need to be, crafting, and literally fucking everything, it seems. Quit it with the fucking crafting! God! And this isn't
Okay, so you're telling me you want me to scream more often and just go like far away from the mic and be like, God damn, what's going on right now?
Whatever the guy I was talking about.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, no.
I think that's the missing piece.
see, I don't.
That's
the
just me.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, well,
I think that would really
well, I can't wait for the playback on that because I wish that's what you meant because I was free for a moment.
Oh no.
Oh no, no, just
Not free unless I'm screaming.
please breathe, Kevin.
What do you
Please.
think about that though? Are you playing any games that craft?
For crafting,
Yeah, I will say some of the crafting games can break me down a little bit.
the Harry Potter crafting was actually kind of fun.
Can I be honest? I played Harry Potter for like 3 or 4 hours. I just started to lose a little bit of momentum.
I played it while I was married, and then
Oh, jeez.
and she had a saved file,
Did you
and I was
delete it?
like, oh yeah, I deleted her file, and I was like, who's this little black girl?
Dude, my dad beat the shit out of me once for deleting his PGA Tour file on Tiger Woods.
Oh man, I accidentally deleted my friend's save information on it for a game of his, like for the entire game. I wiped it or something.
No.
And
Judas.
I was just like, I don't know.
I couldn't.
I don't know what
imagine.
happened,
One of
dude.
the craziest things I've ever.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I was
up with this bump on my head.
I was sitting here, and then you lost all your data. Yeah, I don't have any more info for you, dude.
Craziest one I've ever seen. My buddy had 500 hours on Skyrim.
Yeah.
He took his game with him on vacation, plugged it in, and when he started it, it deleted the file.
Really?
500 hours down the drain.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you feel like a nut. Okay, let's see. Okay, you don't want me to be the angry guy. Okay, I have to figure it out.
even the end of it. Even before updates and additional content post-launch, every game is expected to also
I think
release
they're the
with
same
enough
guy.
content to keep you busy until you're fucking dead. Some of you may think, well, isn't it good to strive for more rather than to settle for less? And that would be the case if it weren't
I
for
like
the
that
glaring
guy.
fact that this current time-sucking content hellscape is lowering the quality of games across the board consistently. Not only do so many games try to promise this unobtainable content paradise, but nearly nearly all of them fail when they do. Content gets rushed, recycled, or even cut and resold later on at an additional cost. A finished game filled with a ton of content and post-launch content on the way being developed during a spike in crunch culture is the single worst recipe an evil witch could brew up in her comically large evil cauldron.
What are we making, Master? Infinite Radiant Quest!
That's the
What
voice.
exactly is content?
That's
Now,
what.
That's what you need.
Okay, so
I tell you what,
Yeah, there it is. I think you would gain a lot of respect.
I'm
very
like
quickly.
I'm like one of the brownies from Willow.
Oh, dude, it's 2025.
No,
Holy
guy.
shit.
We
See that
seen
shit?
Willow? Have you seen
Yeah, she whips her hair back and forth. Or
his
whatever.
name, the Kevin Pollak. Kevin Pollak plays these little fairy guys, but they're
Called the Brownies?
I'm pretty sure
I'd
they're
lose
called the
my whole
brownies,
career
bro.
if I did that
I swear to God, they're called the brownies. Willow's a great film. Willow's a great film.
a birch or like
More
a
of a
maple
Will and Grace
myself.
myself.
You're a birch maple kind of
Yeah.
guy. What are you, Corey?
I'm a little Will and Grace.
You're more of a Will and Grace
Yeah.
guy.
Just me.
Yeah,
me.
just Jack. Okay, let's figure out the rest of this.
Paying for my sin for wearing the hoodie today.
Yeah, it's your own fault. It's your own fault. See, and I took off the beanie and I stopped disappearing.
All right, Brandon, take your shirt off.
That's
I
it.
know you guys are about to
Show
see
us
it.
your nipples.
Today's
I actually don't have any.
buffet of content
That's
where
what?
not really much of it is that great, but oh wow, holy shit, there's so much here. They even got that weird ass dumpling with old meat in it. Sometimes they'll even add to it and drip feed paid content like battle passes, and other times they'll have seasonal events meant to weaponize FOMO. I know this argument has been made about DLC and pre-order expansion passes and stuff, but I think the real issue here has been brushed under the rug, and that's the fact that more games today are attempting to
Have you ever bought one of those fucking things?
Which one?
One of these season passes?
I
something like
think I
that?
bought one time for Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to join this fraternity. And then I played.
Yeah.
I had like 2 skins. I was doing my thing, got logged out of my account, and lost it all.
You had to chug a cube of stones and harass some women.
I think that's in the Kim and Ray J video.
Oh, I
think
just
you got
thought-
it mixed up.
I heard fraternity.
Oh shit!
Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll keep listening. What the fuck were we talking about?
steal your
What
attention.
about 9/11?
Ever. And
Nice.
almost no game can do that through quality. Far Cry 6,
Jet
Dying
fuel
Light
can't
2,
burn
Ghostwire
steel
Tokyo,
beams.
Horizon Forbidden West, Watchdog Legion,
Can't.
Days Gone, Outriders, Biomutant,
controlled
Gotham
demolition,
Knights,
guys.
basically every single Assassin's Creed game ever made,
Goes
and
down.
especially Death Stranding. You know what
I've
all of
seen
these
the video
games
so
have
many
in common?
times.
The fact that if you removed half of the content,
the
you only
best
keep
time to have
improving the final
9/11
product.
content.
If your game supposedly has a wealth of amazing things, I want to see them. Why would you hide them behind walls of garbage
people what they
filler?
want.
And of course I don't expect every game to blow my mind every 10 milliseconds like a toddler with short-term memory loss. That's not the issue. And dude, I understand online multiplayer and single-player games have vastly different expectations and common features, but I'm conflating the two mostly because this issue is prevalent in both. What I'm getting at is, one day I will be dead. One day I will be cuddled up with the worms and moles of the world, but before that inevitable day comes, I will be enjoying video games as much as I can. And when I have to balance my work, social life, sleep, and other stuff with video games, that leaves me with an extremely small sliver of time for those games. And when I expand that inner sliver, you're gonna see I don't have a lot of time to fuck around doing nothing in them! And that's coming from a dude where video games is a portion of my job. This is even worse for everyone else. There is
That's why I stopped playing Horizon, because it was just like, there's too much, like, I don't fucking care about this dinosaur bone and, like, whatever the fuck I'm doing now. Like, there's just too much not attached to story.
I feel like it's like an epidemic. They'll have you do like 400 fetch quests or fetch quests that are like the same thing.
Yeah.
And now you spent like 2 hours, you forget where you left off.
What if it was a fest quetch?
Oh yeah, that I think I knew a girl who had that. She couldn't walk that well.
Yeah, twice.
I remember her.
I busted
It's a sad story.
I busted a friend that couldn't, like, he was trying to pretend he played games and he didn't actually play, and Horizon was how we caught him.
So he played games with your heart.
No, yeah, well, essentially, he told us that when he got the grappling hook in Horizon, it opened up the map. We were like, this guy's fucking off the preservation.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's not going to change the game.
Well, using that makes it so that you can
Yeah, but
play
he
the
was
game.
saying it like, "Oh, this changed everything," and that's
No,
just not.
no, it's like that's obviously somebody who. Oh, I love it.
That's what I try not. I try to be a professional, but we got Michael
But
J. Fox over there.
That's that professional.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh,
It's
the
windy
best.
in Texas.
It's windy out here, and it disappears people like Back to the Future, and you still haven't seen that film, have you?
Oh no, it's a tough
Jesus.
sell for me.
What?
He hasn't seen Back to the Future, so he doesn't know what it's like to be disappearing in a picture.
Of course he doesn't.
Yeah,
Just did never
1985,
seem that
dude.
appealing.
yeah. You're like
Oh.
Marty McFly's at
But Jurassic Park myself.
Yeah, you're more like a Jurassic Park guy
Right.
when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
on video.
Yeah.
It's a Biff Tannen if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, you're total Biff.
So much fluff, filling, padding, and stuffing in modern video games, and the longer a game's average playtime gets, the more you're gonna find it. Waiting to make something, forced long travel, backtracking, randomly imposed roadblocks that only exist to increase game length. As a kid, these things are awesome because you have all the time in the world, but when I hop on a game now for 2 hours and get almost nothing done, I feel like a damn stooge. Nowadays, someone will recommend me a game like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's only about 6 hours long, but
what did you just say?
it's about 6 hours long?
You don't know how much I needed to hear that.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Because it's a goal that's actually attainable. Jumping back to that backlog of unfinished games I previously mentioned in the intro.
Have you ever played Stray?
Oh, but I heard it's actually pretty fire.
Stray is sick as fuck, and it takes like 6-8 hours maybe.
I've learned my threshold's about 20. I beat Far Cry Primal the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll go and play a throwback.
See, I think fucking with like Astrobot is really fun for me, and then also playing like Lego Star Wars.
So good.
Those are really great games because you can just pop in and fuck around and be done.
It's crazy if you think about the first Lego Star Wars, how good the game is with no one talking.
Yeah,
So good.
not a single person talks, which is great. Like and you're talking about like the whole compendium one, right?
Yeah.
The 1 through 9.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that one has voice acting.
I think you have voice acting.
Oh, I think that's very accurate.
All right. So we are even on that one. Let's find out more about video games.
Really think back to those games. How often were you actually immersed or engaged in the gameplay? How often were you experiencing something new or innovative? Or did you maybe abandon the game due to its overabundance of slog and you never even got to the good advertised stuff whatsoever? You see, right there,
Death
that is the
Stranding.
issue here. It's not expanding the playability, it's restricting it. As I get older, I realize games that have 10 hours of excellent content will almost always be better than games with 30 hours of excellent content and 70 hours of fucking padding.
But look, it has 100 hours of content. Isn't that outstanding?
Deathloop is a great example of a game with backtracking, but simultaneously staying fresh, short, interesting, and concise with its gameplay. Hopping on for an hour
Have you
and
ever played
finishing 5
Deathloop?
extremely varied
Some people didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it got. I could be mistaken.
I've heard good things about it.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be. I might have been mistaking it for something else, but I know, like, I remember a lot of people talked about it when it dropped.
Yeah, it's one of those games like if you die, you have to start over again.
Oh, I
Type
kind of
shit.
like that.
Yeah, it's one of those. Okay.
fun missions before putting down the controller feels a whole lot better than starting up a mission to listen to a dude talk for 48 minutes while I slowly follow him to a destination to retrieve something stupid and walk all the way back. And listen, I'm not saying RPGs or farming games that go on for billions of hours shouldn't exist. I mean, Christ, I love RPGs. Obviously. They have their place just as much as short indie experiences do. But my problem is this massive middle blob of games that want to be anything and everything and succeed at nothing while simultaneously being just, I don't know, boring. It seems so many games don't know what they want to be anymore. Video game genres as a whole seem to be losing their identity.
Ah, yes, my first-person shooter racing farming sim. This game should have RPG elements and base building. Thank God I added multiplayer. You're gonna want to pre-order for early access to the V12 eggplant shotgun.
There's never enough time to do everything you want. The industry is curving in a way where it's becoming far more acceptable to release a game half-baked with the promise of fixing it or improving it later on than to delay or take your time crafting a polished work of art.
Can you pause it there?
Of course.
That might be my biggest issue with games now. You wait so long for it to come out and you're so excited, and then it drops and you get like half the features. And there are times, Kevin, they will tell you that the new features you're waiting for
Yeah.
will drop in like 6 months.
All right.
And now you've waited all this time, you spent all this money, and you're like, well, damn. And you
Even
just kind of
now
end up
there's-
setting it on the shelf for fucking 5 months.
and not even watching it.
The big one was when DICE released their latest Battlefield.
Yeah.
It was a disaster, and it wasn't like good for like 8 months. And by then, everyone moved off.
Really?
You see that a lot with a lot of the big games.
Huh.
They'll drop, they're terrible, everyone leaves, and then they fix it, and it has 12 players. It's a disaster.
Didn't that happen with Cyberpunk?
That's another one that did the same thing, too. And then that one caught on. Now everyone likes it.
Oh, no shit, really?
Get updates, patches, and performance updates outside of the occasional international release changes. You had to make sure whatever was on that disc or cartridge was worthy of its price tag. And often it wasn't, in fairness. But this rush games out the door, time-crunching development hell world we live in was partially forged in the same crucible that invented the notion that every game must last forever. You know, it actually made me happy to hear when God of War Ragnarok got delayed. Most of the time, delays are positive. Waiting for a refined product will always be better than getting an underdeveloped mess quicker. But gamers suck. Gamers are seriously my least favorite group of people, and I should know I'm sadly one of them. No matter what you try to do, they'll never be happy.
Oh boy, which route, developer? Release the game too soon and get shit on, or delay a game and still get shit on? The choice is yours, my friend.
I gotta say that this is a pretty fire
I kinda
format.
fuck with this guy.
Like, I really didn't want to cut kind of any of this because he really presents everything in such an entertaining way.
There's something exciting for like each topic. I like it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty great. So, like, yeah, good choice on Circle Guy. We have the link in the description if you want to see
Give
who the
him a
fuck this is.
follower-oo.
Speaking of crunch, while writing this video, me and my friends made the extremely poor decision of firing up Anthem. Remember that travesty? It's on Game Pass anyway, and we did this on the condition that we'd only check out the mainline content, none of the grindy, worthless crap. Because yeah, mech suits that fly around controlling the fucking weather is pretty badass. And you know
That does sound awesome.
The art design is breathtaking. The sound design is superb. The game plays and feels amazing. Everything is snappy and crisp. Just flying around is enjoyable. But you know what isn't enjoyable? The fact that this game went through development hell trying to be a Destiny killer by adding grindy, unintuitive, stupid systems that uproot you from the actual fun moments just to shove some UI disaster or worthless dialogue in your face. Anytime you're caught red-handed having fun, the game forces you to stop everything you're doing so you can go not have fun. Thank God, fellas, I forgot these games were supposed to make me miserable. What? These types of games hold the concept of end game content over your head as if you have to sift through the garbage to make it to the real game. But guess what, dipshit? I didn't make it to the endgame content because the base game fucking sucked! Anthem could have been an extremely fun 8 to 10 hour co-op action game, but we just couldn't have that because BioWare was apparently visited by—
And where's the last fucking co-op action game you ever played?
Oh yeah, that's like dying. Split screen, remember those days?
Oh, split screen games? Like,
used to
I
be- used to
love
be
a split
men.
screen game. Yeah, PS5, I can't find a split screen game.
Oh yeah, if you do play it, it's like
Yeah,
it's a tough sell.
man.
I don't think they exist. It's because there's just no market for it anymore.
Yeah, no, I
Fucking
agree.
stupid.
You know,
Oh.
one of the craziest things I saw? There's a Mario game for the Nintendo 64 that was like compatible with like 16 or 8. You could play with 16 people at once.
Really?
Do you
What,
understand
for
the
like the
logistics?
64?
Do you understand the logistics? You would need like 8 TVs and 16 Nintendos. Who's gonna do that?
4 antennas.
You could do that?
It's on a. I want to say it's either Nintendo or GameCube, or it's a 64 or GameCube.
Huh.
I was
that's
watching
pretty
something
rad.
about it the other day. Who's gonna ever do that? You know?
I will once
The
I make my
logistics.
first $1 million.
No.
Brandon, you have written it in stone.
Oh, no.
You said who would do that? Like that's a stupid thing.
I'm
Well, I
Nice
would
guy.
like to correct you and say that sounds fucking rad, and that's how I want to spend my 43rd birthday.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so we're doing it that way. We're gonna fucking canoodle all those things.
Canoodle?
Oh yeah, we're
That's
gonna we're
interesting
gonna
vocab word.
Oh, we're gonna canoodle all these Super Nintendos.
Time to fist
yeah,
some
that
catfish.
sounds like what people do so they don't get pregnant.
Time to fuck a catfish. Let's
Took
go.
her canoodling.
All right,
Doesn't
time
walk
to
straight in 2 weeks.
get you canoodled, baby.
3 ghosts at night! The ghost of a worthless open world, the ghost of repetitive missions, and the ghost of tedious, stupid crafting! What matters at the end of all of this is that we all need to unanimously push for In the way this segment hopefully ties a bow around the point I'm making, the vision of every game also needs to find its little bow. Look at him go, oh, whoa, shit. I firmly believe aimless single-player checklist games are some of the worst games ever made. They don't respect your time, they don't strive for anything meaningful, they're a job with no pay and a boss that demands too much of you. These forever endlessly supported multiplayer games would always rather drag a carrot on a stick than actually make worthwhile gameplay features. There is a wealth of outstanding AAA and indie games that don't fall into this massive, all-consuming category that I challenge you to seek out and enjoy. Here's an extremely varied list of games that properly appreciate your time, that you can utilize as medicine whenever you feel yourself falling into these traps.
Zoom in, pause and zoom in to this list, viewer, so that you can see what these are, because we can't read them from this.
No shot.
From this distance. I can read Firewatch, and
That was what they used to call Lindsay
Ray.
Lohan.
Yeah, what?
I think so.
Does she know a lot of like firefighters?
I think that's what it was.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, yeah. So you can read all that.
Now listen, I know this list is psychotic, unorganized, and truly deranged, but I think these games perfectly emphasize what I'm talking about. All of these games are super fun, and they're consistently fun and diversely engaging the whole time despite being extremely different from one another. And just as a wise man once said, if the game's not fun, why bother?
Oh,
An accurate cliffhanger there.
there we go. Well, why bother, right?
What are your thoughts of long games? Are you kind of out at this point? I feel like you don't have as much time.
I can't fuck with a long game. I gave you Thor Ragnarok. Like, that game was too long for me.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.